Hey guys, welcome back to Oracle and Alchemy. Happy new moon in Leo. Woo! Ignore that. Anyways, I thought I would do a pick a pile for you guys, but we are going to be working with a theme tonight. So there's a lot of themes around just the Leo new moon in general. You know, Leo has big, bold, fiery energy, like F it energy. I was trying to think of a nice way to say that. Just full speed ahead. So there's definitely some of that energy out there. Go ahead and set your intentions tonight, tomorrow. The energy of the new moon always lingers for a few days. So if by the time you see this, you haven't taken the time to set your intentions, then just go ahead and do so. And if you're watching this way after the new moon, then you were meant to find this message at the right time, and you can still set your intentions. It's never too late. That being said, there's been a big theme lately in a lot of my personal readings as well as my personal life around the idea of balance, and things kind of being out of whack. And it's also playing out in the world stage, you know, balance between masculine and feminine, givers and takers, and the list goes on and on. But we're here tonight to see how we can bring a little bit more balance into our own lives. So I have 4 pick-a-piles. Each one has 2 oracle cards, 2 runes, and then we have a stone to represent each pile. So I'm going to be quickly going over the stones and the order, and then you can decide which one seems to be resonating with you, and then the timestamps will be below. As one of my favorite readers likes to say, shout out to Emmy Evolving, if this theme doesn't seem to resonate with you, if this message isn't for you, don't try and make a message fit. I mean, I think we could all do with a little bit more balance in our life, but if you know that that's something that you've been working on and you're like, you know, I think I'm good. I think I need to hear a message about, you know, maybe intentions for self-worth, or maybe I want to hear something about a relationship. Not to say that none of these piles will have something in it about relationships, but I'm just saying take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? So first I'll go through, oh, if you guys have been with me, you know about my whole starting stopping videos, but I got an SD card for my phone so we could take our time. This can last as long as it needs to. Hooray. Okay. So we're going to start out over here. So I'm just going to describe the stone for each one of these before I get into the reading, so that you can look it over, decide which one you want to go with, and then we'll start with the actual reading. So this is called Kambaba Jasper. It's also sometimes known as crocodile jasper. It's really great for grounding. It's great for meditation. It's great in itself for bringing balance. It's great for soothing heartache or heart pain or shattered expectations or those negative things that you keep telling yourself over and over again. So this is a stone that soothes that, and helps with your meditative state, helps with grounding. So this is pile number 1, Kambaba Jasper. Okay, pile number 2, I have some black tourmaline. So black tourmaline is good for protection, psychic protection, protection against bad energy, bad juju, protection against maybe nightmares. I sleep with this under my pillow, actually. So that's black tourmaline. Okay. In our next pile, we have citrine. So citrine is good for, it relates to the solar plexus chakra, and that talks about joy, expression, self-worth, positivity, that fire that makes you just joyful when you get up in the morning. Yeah, that's citrine. All right, and that's, oh, so this is pile number 1, sorry, 2, 3, and then pile number 4, we have just a clear crystal quartz here, and then we also have a shard of selenite. So crystal quartz is good for clarity, obviously, intuition, insight into things that you didn't quite see before. And then selenite is a stone of cleansing. So you can actually use selenite, this is selenite here, you can actually use selenite to cleanse and purify your other crystals and your other stones, without having to put it out in the moon or sun or water. Okay, so cleansing, purification, and this is pile number 4. All right, so hopefully you've decided which one you're gonna go for, and we'll start with number 1. So remember, each of these messages, we're trying to see what lessons around balance they have for us. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna need a bigger table soon. That's crazy. Okay. Kambaba Jasper, what do you have for us? Ooh. Ooh. All right. Ooh, can't quite see, but that's okay. I'll go over them all so you can. So pile 1, we have hail. We have joy. I love this rune. You can just feel the joy radiating off of it. We have number 10, releasing allegiances. And we have number 32, faith in the process. Beautiful. So let's start with hail. So this rune is the rune of all the unexpected things that happen in life that are just horrible. So like when it rains, it pours. This kind of just like the universal things that we all have to go through, like losing a loved one, heartbreak, maybe losing a job, maybe ending a relationship, ending a friendship. These are just life's everyday sorrows that everyone has to live through. But the opposite of that rune is joy. So for message number 1 with Kambaba Jasper, the balance that I believe it's asking, the first message of balance that it's asking you to remember is that there's pain, there's joy, there's rain, there's sun, you know, there's sorrow, there's happiness. Everything, for every poor or negative emotion, there is one that's full of joy and abundance. So I believe that the Jasper is asking you not to stay too long focusing on the hail and the sadness and the quote unquote misery. This human experience comes with a fair bit of sadness and misery, but if we're only focusing on that, then we are missing out on some of life's greatest joy as well, because it's the things that come from the greatest pain also give us the greatest joy, right? So if we lost a loved one, that meant that we bonded with that loved one and we had time on this earth with this loved one, and it was a really beautiful relationship. If our heart was broken, that means at some point we felt like we were in love, right? So we got to experience love, even though we got to experience heartbreak. I think you get the idea. I'm not going to beat a dead horse over there. But I could go on and on with examples, but I think by now you know maybe where you can bring balance to not so much focusing just on life's miseries, but really incorporating more of life's joys into your perspective. Okay. Along with that, something that might help in this endeavor. So I'm using the runes as kind of the main message, and then the oracle cards are here to help support and kind of give us steps about how we can do that. So I love that this card came up with this pile, releasing allegiances, because it's just how it looks. She has her gold bangles and her gold beads. She has what's valuable to her and she's keeping it to herself. So I believe this card is asking you to cut away from the people that don't value you, the situations that don't value you, the patterns that don't value you, really letting go. And that's also a great new moon message. New moons are a great time to let go and decide on your intention. So this one, especially in Leo, is really great for just doing away with everything that doesn't value you, putting the value back into yourself first, making sure that you are taken care of first. Not in a selfish way, just in a, this is what I believe about myself and this is what I'm going to nurture. I'm going to nurture that belief about myself, and I'm not going to allow people who disagree with that belief to tear me down, wear me down. or discourage me. Okay. And then we have number 32, faith in the process, which breaks down to a 5. She's in a red wheelbarrow. She's praying. I love this card because I always see the bird on her back and the bird ahead of her. And for me, that always represents people on your team who are looking out for you. So this could be real people, this could be angelic guides, this could be ascended masters, this could be whoever is on your spirit team, God, whoever it is. But there's one bird that's looking above her, ahead of her, and one bird that's out before her. So that talks a lot about, even though there's obstacles, right? You have people that are looking out for the obstacles ahead. Don't fear the obstacles. Trust the process. Trust each next step as it goes. So how this relates to releasing allegiances is people might talk about you when you're trying to, if you've always been known, or if you always hang out with, or if you kind of resonate with people that are negative and down and kind of destructive, and then you decide to cut away from that because you're going to start focusing on joy. You're going to start finding your way to joy. You're going to start rebalancing your heart. You're going to start trying to trust again. Everybody might not like that. And also it might be really hard after you've been living so long one way to try another way. It might feel strange. It might feel unnerving, but trust that you taking the first step and making the intention to become someone who focuses more on life's joys than its sadnesses is definitely the right step. Have faith in that. All right, so that was pile number 1 with Kambaba Jasper. That was sweet. Okay, so now we have pile number 2, Black Tourmaline. Let's see what Black Tourmaline has for us. So we have, Jera the Harvest, Alchemy's Protection, okay, awesome, I love this. Okay, so we have number 25, which breaks down to 7, Spiritual Guidance, Release the Dark Wound, Let Love Live. Sorry, I'm doing the cards first instead of the rune. They're just so pretty. Then we have number 3, Inspiration. This card has been coming up a lot, which I love. So if you have been seeing my other readings and this card came up and now you're reading, you're in this reading and it comes up, guess what, bitch? No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. Okay, so then we have Jera up top, the Harvest. Beautiful. And then we have on the bottom, Protection. So usually this card is a positive card, but in terms of this reading and what balance is being asked of us here, I believe that this combination is asking us, where can we step out and grow, right? We'll never harvest. The harvest is your ships coming in. The harvest is all your hard work paying off. The harvest is the beautiful ending that you imagined actually manifesting into your life. That's this feeling of the harvest, abundance and joy, but you did have to put in work. Harvesting is work. And then that being opposite of protection, I'm getting the message that a lot of people are hiding away their gifts, talents, skills, heck, even their hard work ethic. They might be purposely doing it, or I'm getting the feeling that you're not consciously doing it. You're letting past hurts, past disappointments, past fears about, maybe you stepped out to harvest something before and it failed. Like maybe your crop failed. It happens. Or maybe you tried something new and it didn't go so well. Or maybe you tried something new or tried a new relationship, someone new, and they betrayed you and that hurt. So there's kind of this energy in this reading of, well, last time I tried to work hard at something, it was an utter disaster. So why should I try and work hard? You should try and work hard, right? Because you're inspired. You have a really good idea. There's something that's lighting you up that has value. Deep down inside, it has value, even though you might be just hiding it away because it's going to hurt your heart too much to be that bold, to put it out there, to go for it, to try full speed ahead. So you have release the dark wound, let love live, and you have protection. So this is you hiding yourself away, playing it safe, playing it small, kind of just doing what you've always done. But that's so funny. This thing has been in my head all week. Big risk, big reward. The amount of worth of your idea and the amount of value in putting out that idea and working hard to make this idea come true will absolutely be commensurate to what you reap in the end. So that's a long way of saying it's worth it. It's worth it to believe in yourself. It's worth it to, you know, surely if your idea, this is an alternate message I'm getting, right? If your idea is that good, then alternatively, you could not be hiding it away, but you might want to consider copywriting. You might want to consider trademarking. You might want to consider watermarking your art more. That just came out of nowhere, so that's a confirmation for somebody. That alternate message of, because this idea is so good, you might want to get it protected legally somehow. The other message was the first message. You're hiding it away out of a false sense of protection when you should be letting it shine. All right, so that's fun. Thank you, Black Tourmaline. Okay, we're on pile number 3. Just trying to make sure I look at the time. We have citrine, so let's see what messages of balance citrine has for us. Woohoo! Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so we have 37, focus on the light, breaks down to a 10, a completed cycle. I love this card. I love all these cards. Who am I kidding? And then we have 21, which breaks down to a 3. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. There's just so much detail on all these cards. That's why I keep it to the camera for just a minute so you can really look at it. And then our first rune, we have Perthro, Fate. And then our next rune, we have Tiwaz, the Sky God. Okay. This one's interesting because I'm not seeing a whole lot of imbalance here yet. So what I'm getting though from the 2 runes is kind of like a back and forth between beliefs in how much, like for instance, this rune might represent someone who thinks that no matter what they do, things are just going to work out how they're going to work out. Things are already predetermined, right? The idea of fate, they don't have a say in it. They're not powerful enough to create their own reality, or only to a certain extent. And then this would be the energy of someone who can create and can manifest fairly quickly because they have the confidence. It's the Sky God. I call it my Superman card, shooting up into the sky. They have the confidence to know they are powerful, they are a manifester, they are a creator, and they just do it. Versus someone who feels constrained by some kind of cosmic force that might be going against them. Okay, I see. So yeah, so citrine, oh gosh, and this is the stone of like self-worth and, you know, value and believing in yourself and expression. So that's very interesting. This is all working together. So what I'm feeling with Perthro and meaning fate and beyond the mind, the heartbeats, is there's an energy or an attitude maybe of someone thinking somebody else, the fate of your life is in somebody else's hands. Either it's in the cosmos, either it's in fate, either it's in God, either it's in whoever you believe authors or controls things. There might be too much thought pattern in that rather than, someone who is a manifestor, someone who believes in their abilities, someone who focuses on the light. Here we have the yellow again of the citrine and the solar plexus. They know what they're worth. They know the possibilities, or they can at least envision the possibilities. There's a flower, there's a field, there's a forest, everything, every piece of abundance that they can envision. Now, this is really interesting because I'm getting the message, right? We can manifest. We are creators of our own life, but we also live within a collective, right? So it's not like I could just be like, I'm going to get $1 million tomorrow. I mean, you could, but the point is that we also live in a society with other people who agree and disagree about what should be present in reality and what shouldn't be present in reality. So basically what I'm trying to say is there needs to be a balance between understanding, yeah, we are in a collective consciousness and things come about collectively because groups of people believe in them. And that might go against what I believe in, but that doesn't mean that I can't actually manifest things in my life. That doesn't mean that I can't actually live my passion. That doesn't mean that I can't actually express myself and make a living off of it. I can't, quote unquote, become abundant in my joy or my passions. So be careful. So this is really tricky because the balance is like, maybe in these other two messages, the balance was like way off or way off. In this one, the balance is like a teeter-totter. It goes back and forth. Like one day you might feel like you are a great manifester, and the other day you might feel like God hates you. Well, first of all, that's never true, but I was just messing around. It was the example, right? So you go back and forth day to day, which I think is natural based on how we're feeling and if we have a good day or not. But just be careful that you don't lean one way or the other, because it can be very easy to slip from one idea to the next. Okay? So this one's very fluctuating. Cool. Interesting. Okay, that was very interesting. All right, our last one, pile 4. We have crystal or clear quartz, and we have selenite. So let's see what messages of balance this pile has for us. Ooh. We have Ingus the seed and Lagus the water. Are you kidding me? Okay, sorry. Then we have Legacy of Light and Defend to the End the Worthwhile. So we have 7. And we have 5. That's so interesting. The other pile was 7 and 5 too. 2 and 3 breaks down to a 5. Okay. Wow, this is really interesting. And then for the runes, we have the seed. And the water. Okay, I'm already getting a strong message off of this one. So, being is that we have the seed and the water, okay? Seeds need water, obviously. So there's that built-in balance already. But there's a deeper message here. Seeds, until they get wet and until they get into the earth, they have a hard covering. They have a very hard shell around them to protect what's inside, right? It's only when you put the seed in the ground or you wet the seed that it's able to soften up the shell enough to open up and continue to grow into whatever plant or organism it's supposed to be. Okay. I'm going to come back to that. That's not the end of that message. And then we have Legacy of Light and Defend to the End the Worthwhile. Okay. So this message is all about nurturing and nourishment versus hardness and coldness in a good way. Okay? I'm getting a very hard, like a hard energy, like a shell, the shell of a seed, right? So these energies are even this imagery, I'm not going to get into graphic, but this has a lot of fertility imagery. If you know what I mean, you can look real close. So we got this with the seed. You have to protect what it is that is your seed, okay? So this could be literal. I'm going figuratively. Okay, I'm focused. I'm back. I'm going figuratively. So this is the thing within your heart that might not right now might just be a little seed of an intention, right? A little seed of an inkling, a little baby of an idea, if you will. But it's worth defending, okay? So it's worth having a hard outer shell. It's worth standing up for yourself when people try to snatch the seed. Like, right, birds come, they try and pick the seed. The wind might try to blow the seed. It might fall on hard, rocky ground. It might not see water for a while. Keep the shell of protection and stand up for this seed. Stand up for this thing that you're trying to grow and nourish and birth, okay? So where does balance come in? We have opposite the water, and we have legacy of light, which was number 7, that talks about, both of these talk about spiritual. So logos is your intuition, your intention, your unconscious, your subconscious. Yeah, it's the waters of your soul, basically. And that's so cool that that came out with these stones. So nourish your soul. So that's where the balance comes in. You have to be on the front lines, actively defending what it is that you're trying to birth or create or conceive. That's the word I was looking for, conception. Okay, so there's something you're trying to conceive. So you need to be both. You need to be hard when something comes up against it, and you need to be soft enough to know what it needs to be nourished. Obviously, what you need to be nourished. So this is my card of ancestors. Also, here's the moon. Love it. New moon, full moon. So this is, guidance from on high. This could be ancestors you have living. This could be passed on ancestors. This could be people who aren't even in your bloodline, but it's the collective ancient wisdom, and it's connected through the generations, right? This also is my card that talks about self-development. So if these aren't people, this is just you in your various stages of maturity and development and growth, right? So you need an abundance of water, nourishment for your soul, in order for your seed to sprout and for what you're trying to conceive to become fertile, to grow, and to come to fruition. You can't be hard all the time, but if you have kind of a rough, gruff personality and you're just like challenging anyone who would tell you that this idea isn't worth it, that, keep that, but don't stay in that energy all the time. You need to balance it with taking time out to water yourself. So if you have a whole bunch of naysayers around you, this might mean taking some time to go out in nature, taking some time off, taking some time alone, taking some time to reevaluate why these haters are around your life and in your circle. That I'm getting the energy that a lot of you are spending way too much time defending without enough time watering. So still defend, just up how often you are nourishing yourself, nourishing your soul, taking care of your own needs, because they both have to be balanced for the seed to come to fruition. All right? Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, that was pile number 4. I hope you guys enjoy this reading. I hope the pile that you chose resonated with you. I hope that gave you something to look forward to and maybe some guidance about how to set your intentions for this new moon. And thank you so much for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.